only have 2 cards, so even if that's a removal, we just take it, and that's fine. And that's how you go into top 88 in the world. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and some of you that watched the intro already know. Yes, we hit top 88 Mythic in the world with this one, and yep, it's not a surprise because this is the build that has been going strong for a while, and while you have seen the deck, today games will be a masterpiece. So I think if you ever enjoyed Control, this is the video for you. It will be so close and so intense. And thank you for all the new Bloomborough cards and Duskmorn cards. Alright, so let's go into the gameplay, and before we go there, I want to say a huge thank you to the absolute legend for the day, and honestly for channel's history, Decomposed. Thank you, man, for your ongoing, never-ending support. Honestly, the channel would not be the same without you, and it just makes me so happy to see you are enjoying the content after all of this time. It always makes me think that maybe I'm doing something right, so thank you for that. And yeah, for everyone who doesn't know, Decomposed is literally the first Patreon member ever in the history of this channel, so the absolute legend for real. So with that being said, we want to see some magic, we want to see some control, and let's go, have fun guys. Alright, we're going first. The lands are okay, they're kinda okay. We can go planes into the Verge, so yeah, so far so good. Let's see the matchup, this is super important. I actually don't mind aggro, but it seems that we are actually not hitting aggro. Okay, this is something we definitely want to, not on my watch, which shouldn't be hard because we don't show priority right now, so let's go. And that should hit, I believe. They should, unless they have bring the ending. So now they need to hit 5 reses to get, you know, the stacks, basically. This should be target for lockdown, probably. Not super the play I wanted to make, but it's really efficient at getting rid of the hybrid forever, because they can just keep proliferating and bringing it back. So yeah, we want to keep this first trigger as slow as possible. Alright, man, this is actually a good draw. Oh, we can only... okay, we will complete you. Jace, you complete me. So we can deny the poison, at least on this turn. So if we draw untap land, we can always Sunfall. You really want to keep, you know, this one first poison as late as possible, so they cannot start stacking everything. I mean, this is a good start. Let's go with the Jace first. And honestly, if we get rid of this, they will take a swamp. We cannot counter spell, so I think we go with the Deduce here on Fountainport. We could Demolition Field for better mana on the next turn. Right, we get 2 mana and we Deduce. We help them mana, but life shouldn't matter too much. This actually rams them. Oh, this is a big deal. They can actually make an extra play with this. Alright, I might super regret it, but I'm doing it. Because they didn't make a play last turn, so I hope they actually don't have 5 reses. I hope they only have proliferate targets. And they didn't take the mana, so it seems to be correct. Let's get the blue mana here. I nearly declined, by the way. Alright, that's fine, that's fine. We're getting somewhere. Alright, so we really want those Deduce. You really had it, huh? Alright, so it starts. So it starts. So our gameplay right now is some counter spells, trying to get all the Deduce to get value. They have Mirks, that's a little bit annoying. I think they waited for Demolition Field to be fired up, but I really need this second blue mana. So I think it was still the right call. I could get rid of this. Let's go right now. Because I think they will make a Mirks token, and then we probably need Fountainport token. And maybe then we Sunfall. Alright, I kinda like it. Man, this will be messy. We're on 1 poison, but it feels like we're on 5 or 6 already. Sure. So if we make the token, there is a huge chance they will go for this 1 mana, -1/-1 proliferate. And that's a little bit awkward for us. I don't really want to give them this target, but I might have to. Then they get up to 3, which is really good for them. Or I can try to hit with Deduce, maybe. I think we go with this play. If we hit Smite, that really solves the problem for this turn. Normalizes something. Alright, you got your poison. With another counter spell, maybe we can negate one of the poison counters later. But this will be a true fight, man. We are not great at killing our opponents super quickly. Demolition Field, huh? This is definite, man. Demolition Field into lockdown is actually insanely important here. I need really correct mana here, so let's not mess it up. And I need to force him to use it right now. I'll be honest, this was extremely lucky draw. This really changes the whole game. And the lockdown on top of this is absolutely perfect. I won't draw with this, but it's fine. It's fine. We take the basic land. I still think we need more islands, because at some point we want to double Jace probably. Oh, I wish we could use it. But we should have enough value here. I hope. For 1 black mana they cannot remove the Planeswalker, so that's the pause. I was thinking if I need to use the loyalty ability first, but I don't think we do. So only the rat or insect or whatever it is will come back. We could already mill them, but I will start getting value. If we get into the next cards, like, you know, another Jace and all of this stuff, we should be fine. This is a scary turn. I cannot counterspell anything. So they can go crazy or pass the turn, which I absolutely adore. Alright, this is huge. Let's draw another card. And the Jace is still here, so we will start pumping it again. Alright, not the best draw ever. But our opponent is not doing much. We are ready with counter spells. Well, this is extremely powerful card. One of the best in their deck. But I think 1 poison is acceptable. This is somewhere when I'm risking. Like, this could spell our end. However, at the same time, I really want to have the Spellgyre so I can, you know, change some value in the future. And let's start with this one. We won't get the Fountainport, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. Let's draw some cards. Like, we need to start going a little bit more aggressive here and try to get into those double Jays. Oh, okay. That is interesting. They really want to deny the value. And I mean, they are not wrong. Get Lost is a nice draw. Alright, let's go with the Archive. This way we can get a little bit better draws. For example, not a plane from the top. And what do we go? We can get Lost this, so at this point we probably want to plus Jace again. Like, Jace is doing so much this game. They basically don't have counterplay to this, I think, except Raska, you know, something. I don't remember the name, but it was Raska something. And I want to do it now, so they cannot hit it with this -1 proliferate. I didn't see it so far, but they should be using it. And we milled 1 Bring the Ending, and they use 1 of them. I wonder how many they play. Here it is. Oh, we will be 1 mana short probably, because I think they will kill it in response. Okay. I absolutely love it. Alright, that was clutch. What is not clutch is our draws. Like, we are really overdrawing lands at this point. Right, there is no way we'll draw another, right? Alright, I guess it's not a land. So let's go with the Wastes. And try it from there. I think we'll go with the fish and try to draw cards with it, because it's getting a little bit awkward with the draws on our part. Oh, I never missed it. Let's go with this one. It can also buffer the Might token that they will make at the end step. We're only at 4, but it feels like we're under so much pressure right now. Sure, I want to keep this for future. Maybe we can hit something relevant later in the final turn. Thank you. Thank you. Alright. So, if they bring the ending, we actually... Oh, we cannot do it. We cannot do it. They will tap at the end step, so then we can draw 3 extra cards. That should be enough, right? Because if they have bring the ending right now... oh man, they actually play more. Okay, so we definitely don't want to go this route. So let's keep plussing. Then we go Silver Scrutiny when they tap. Draw 3 cards. We can use Elspeth Smite against the Might token, so it's nullified for the full turn. And I think that's a good play overall. And they cannot do anything right now. Okay, those are better cards. 3 steps ahead is something I really want to start seeing in my hand. Like, we play 4 man. I hardly see any. Alright. The map. Sure. We also have Sunfall, which will help against the tokens later, so we want a moment where they have few creatures. They play the insects, so at some point they should cast them. Alright, well, that's a draw. That's for sure. Alright, extremely good draw for them. I think we'll, if we can, we'll use the Fountainport for the token at the end step. They can only proliferate twice. Let's get rid of this. This is so important to just have 1 mana answer to this. It really does help. Alright. Soon, I really want Jace to start doing 3 cards. And it might be very quickly. And we can draw with this. Alright, those are the cards. Let's go with the, okay, I'm feeling way better after those draws. I think we should be winning this. So, let's pump the Jace. On the next turn we can -2 very comfortably. Not on my watches here, so I guess we can provide some pressure. To be absolutely honest, it doesn't do anything. But sometimes it makes your opponent, you know, kinda care and spend like 1 point of mana on this, on something, and it's good enough then. Right, so they will tap for this, and now we can counter all the poison things. And then if we go for this huge mana battle, like we have more mana, and we can also go for no more lies, so then it becomes a hard counter spell. Not on my watch, my friend. Let's go. They really want this phase, not even caring about the Jace. However, they need 1 card in the graveyard still. Let's go with this one. If we have something super relevant to play, that would be nice. Because then maybe they answer this. Right, to be absolutely honest, this should be good enough. Okay, 3 and 2, exactly as I wanted. So let's go. If they counter it, then Jace draws 3 cards, so we draw cards anyway. I think they have Bring the Ending. This is a huge card that they are banking since forever for this kind of situation. I wonder if they're aware. I think they know that they're at 16 cards, so 1 more and we draw with Jace. Yep, we got the counter spell. And I think we don't need to fight for it. Now we have additional card in the graveyard, and now we can start drawing 3 cards with this, which hopefully will get us new Jace. Or maybe 3 lands. Oh my god. Okay, this was not perfect for sure. Alright, this draw was something else. So right now we really want to protect Jace if we can. We don't want to use any interaction. I think Jace will die. They will probably start killing fish, I would guess. Well, my friend, this one definitely doesn't go through. Not only it draws cards, but it amplifies the poison. And this is a good moment to use it. That's why we have this 5 extra mana. And now we still have a counter spell. Every counter spell they have is a hard one, so there's no point in holding mana most of the time. We block. And I will gladly trade against this. Protecting Jace, as we should. Draw card? No, fish is great. Fish. Thank you. This is way better. Alright guys, so I think we can close the game. With this draw, I think we should start closing the game right now. So we can mill 3 cards, 19 and 5. So 15. So they have 4 cards in the whole deck. That's nice. They cannot interrupt our hand. So I think what we will do is play Verge. Protect. Can they do twice? Yeah, they can do 2 of them. That's not great. So that means we need even more mana. I really want to protect Jace on this turn. Those 3 cards are actually our win con. And I think that our opponent is super aware of this. So he won't go easy into the Silent Night. Alright. Mirex. Once. Mirex. Twice. We'll have double fish, but we don't really want to counter spell removal because it's not exactly what we want. Let's see what is the target. Jace? Face. A bold play, but a welcomed one. I think this should be good enough. This also forces them to start doing stuff, because every time we are getting closer to milling them. I'm not sure how many counter spells they have though. That's good, that's good. So, we could get them to 6 cards and try to force our Jace through them. So do you think they have enough counter spells to go Jace into counterspell into counterspell? I will actually try. Bro, I would love to play Jace at instant speed after they use Mirex, but they will never go for this play. They seem to be a pretty good player, and they will probably never tap. Man, they have both Bring the Ending and Reject Imperfection, and this seems to be super heavy counterspell deck. But they already burned so many of them. There's no way they have 4 and 4 and they have all of them in the hand. I'm sure of it. No. Please, Jace, don't fail me this one time. Let the final battle begin. Yep, here it is. Here it is. I can go for extra mana here. We might draw something else, like for example a Jace. Alright, let's check the tap. The tap is pretty decent, right? 3 and potentially if we draw normal eyes. Like we have a lot of normal eyes. Please, I need 1 normal eyes and I win the game 100%, even if they have all the perfect answers. Alright, I guess they will counter again. Okay, that's fair, that's fair. That's all of their blue mana. I think we won. I think we won. I won't even... Okay, I will do it. Right? They don't have blue mana, so there's no way they counter. That means we counter this one, and we win the game on perfect mana up to 1. And this is how we do it in High Mythic. Alright guys, this was a game. Oh man, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Alright guys, I need to be honest here, we are super lucky because we are on the play with double counterspell and Archive is perfect with the Verge. So honestly, this is an extremely good setup to start. If we were on the draw with this hand, it could be a disaster. I like my lands. I probably shouldn't take it because we should draw naturally some, but I'm greedy, alright, I'm greedy. Let's go with this one. So we get all the mana colors. So the idea is that we will go for Silver Scrutiny. So we try to stall the game as long as possible and then try to redraw after the huge battle will happen. It will take a moment. It will take a moment. A little bit scary. It seems that we're against control. I actually thought this is like a Zorus Reanimator. Okay, this is a Zorus Reanimator. We really would love to counter this. What is their play? Like Jhin or something? It's not great. like this is a big part of their deck. Not only it fills the graveyard, but it also like puts the creature in the graveyard and gives them helping hand or recognition to get the creature out of the graveyard. So if you negate this, they need to really play differently. This suggests they don't have the third land. When I tried this deck, I see they would have this in the graveyard. Alright, now we need to be aware that we will have to counter it probably. Silver Scrutiny is getting better, but it's not ready yet. We are cooking it. Alright, man, I'm so excited, but it will be scary. Alright, we need to keep it in check. We have 2 mana to pay. They run counter spells, but we can pay 2 because I think they only run Phantom Interference. I'm not super sure, but it gets better discount than Normalize. Please don't play Normalize and prove me wrong. But general, see? They prove me right. We are just top mythic player, alright? No biggie. This is a huge deal, man. This is absolutely huge deal. And right now, I think we fake it. Oh man, do I want to draw 3 cards? This is huge. Oh boy. I'm kinda scared. I think we might main phase Silvers. Oh man, if we get the right hits, we will win this. Sorry, bro. This is a huge decision because we can draw 3 cards. That's huge. However, we will be kinda even with him. So if we whiff, if we'll draw like 2 lands and Smite, we are actually extremely behind. If we draw Sunfall or something, we should be fine. We can also wait for a Demolition Field and get more cards. I will go with this simply because the whale is on curve on the next turn. I mean 2 lands and sorry, it wasn't the Smite, it was Get Lost. So I was really close here. But to be fair, oh, please go away. Chart Decors. Or Echoes. Alright. Still, they didn't get the card advantage, they just cycled and they discarded a card that doesn't matter. Well, this is super annoying, not gonna lie. And Oculus is kinda busted card, like let's be honest about it. Alright, this is an interesting draw. We don't need Demolition Field yet. Fountainport is a nice one. I think we get lost this. Yeah, we definitely get lost this. While we can. Don't forget they run counter spells in the deck. They don't really have pump spells, so I will go risky here. I will start pumping Jace. I'm honestly not sure if that's the correct call, but I will do my best. They have into the mouth, so they can give us a fish and bounce Jace. I think that's what they are thinking about right now. So they cannot lower the loyalty on Jace. So this is our asset for the time being. But oh my god, they have really great draw. Like when I played this deck, I couldn't get draw like this in like 15 games, man. Like not a single time. Alright, this is rough. I think they will try. Okay, land is okay, I guess. But this deck definitely needs a lot of mana, so it's kinda okay for them. If they get going, they can do a lot with it. Alright. And so if we mill them, that can be problematic in some ways. Deduce. Alright, this is rough, man. This is actually rough. Not Wrath of God, but just rough. We could go Deduce here, and I think we will, because I'm actually not sure what to do. If we draw Sunfall, that will change a lot. Alright, that kinda solves some problems, maybe, who knows. They probably cannot answer Jace easily. I have a feeling that maybe they're using us to mill their graveyard, because this deck actually wants it. So we need to do it in a big way, or not do it at all. Okay, Tapland is huge for us. Let's see the Surveil. They really want to have, you know, something good in the graveyard. And here's something good in the graveyard. Sleight of Hand. I'm really banking on this whale to hit Oculus. And I really hope it works. We have 3 steps set, so we can force a little bit. We have extra card here and extra card in Jace. Moment of Truth. Sure. Extremely good card, but not something I think we want to counter. If he had 1 or 2 cards and I felt that he's out of gas, then sure. But here it's just... yeah, it's just not great. You kinda need to tank those good cards and wait until they don't have them anymore. Oh, they are attacking with Oculus. That's huge. I really need it. I super need it. By the way, they can bounce it and deny the card at the cost of a fish. This is kinda okay for us. Let's start with this. This is the big one, so we want to protect it. Show me. They probably have some place, right? This is this is the biggest card of the whole deck. Not Jin, just Oculus. Just looking at you, at your soul. Okay, this is kinda scary. Like when you look at this, you probably don't want to switch places with this guy. Alright, so what are we doing, my friend? What is the target? Jace. Very interesting play. So they deny value. I honestly really don't want to do anything about this one. That's okay, we get the fish, so it will be easier to block in the future turns. I think that might have been the bait. Okay, okay. Now we have to man, we will Demolition Field this. Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. Now we can get rid of something. They have only 1 mana, so I'm not scared anymore. Smite has found a great target here. What are you doing? Okay, what was the card? Now I want to know. Oh boy, that was Jin. Okay. Man, we are doing it really, really masterfully so far. But I'm not sure, like the game is still close. I'm not sure who will win this. However, I know we could also mill this with Jace. We have Smite. Sorry, bro. This is too important. I want to win this game. By the way, we could go Whale, but then we cannot mill. If they cast Oculus, they lower the graveyard, which is bad for us. They tap not too much mana, so it's not great. I think we want to mill it. So they have basic types. If they had like 1 island plains, you can always target it, but they have plenty, absolute plenty. And we'll go to the second main phase to burn the mana, you know, just with no burn. So this is one problem that we don't need to worry about. I really would love to go. We definitely need so much blue mana here. I would love to go for the whale. We could do it now. Or we can just go Jace. They only have bounce spells against it, to be honest. But then they can go with some spells. Oh, right, we are going to this. So they need to decide right now. Do I want to smite something? Difference between 5 and 6 mana is actually pretty huge. Jace is so tempting, man. They didn't have clear answer, but if I play this, I cannot counter spell. And I think that's a deal breaker. The only other choice is Whale, because we can pressure them super hard. They will probably get Oculus in some way, or Jin, and we cannot kill them. Alright, so I think all in all, we should be a little bit defensive here. We are kinda partially tapped. We have more lands for the next turn, so next turn will be way stronger. Right now we have 6 mana, on the next turn we have 9. And potentially a whale. Huh. Is that Jin? We can also draw card with the fish. I'll take 2 damage. This is the turn when I want to do a lot, and I don't want to waste any point of mana. So we can make another fish or just go whale and force a counter spell. I think we can win without it. So this is sacrificial whale for phantom interference that will hit us inevitably. However, it still is 1 card. Oh man, this is 3 steps ahead. That's huge. Okay, I didn't expect 3 steps ahead. They usually play them, so maybe I should. They usually have like 2-3, I believe. I honestly expected Phantom Interference. Still, it's actually not bad for us. I cannot force them to get rid of one more card. That would be so amazing. So I think this is the moment where we try to protect Jace. We can 3 steps ahead. Only once. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. This is a bit quick. But they need to be conscious about their library. Like, it's really low right now. If I draw Jace from the top, I win the game on the next turn.
Our plans are beyond your comprehension.
How did they pump it last time? I remember they pumped it with something. I have no idea. What was the card? I don't know. It could be Jhin though. 1 damage, it does not matter at all in this game. Alright, this will be close. This is my weakest turn right now. So if they're smart, they will absolutely abuse it to oblivion. I could try to counterspell it. That's a good try. I don't have other counterspells, so I still will go like this. This is risky play. I don't think it will work. But I don't have other good plays, so I at least try to slow them down. We have Sunfalls in the deck. Oh man, they're actually looking for a counterspell. That suggests they don't have one in the hand. Like, they desperately need to have a counterspell right now. Let's see it. Did you draw it? No, they didn't, and we are drawing cards. We don't need lands at this point. We'll draw them naturally with Deduce. Alright, that was huge swing. Even though they get Jhin, this is a heavy investment right now for them, and we can start drawing cards. Alright. Yes, they didn't hit. I think they're trying to hit into the Mao, so they can bounce Jace, so we don't get 3 cards for free. By the way, we are kinda winning on the next turn if we hit the right card. Maybe we should just fish for Jace. We have 3 of them. You're not Jace, bro. You are not Jace. On the other side, we might be dead on the next turn. Yeah, we are definitely dead on the next turn if we don't hit the right card here. So I can mill a lot of cards, but then this will be absolutely abysmally huge. Alright. I will definitely draw a Sunfall, right? Right. Tell me. We have a lot of answers. Get lost. Oh man, is that good enough? Man, if I knew that this is on top. This is actually kinda scary. I think this is worth 1 mana, so we pick into the next card. Because we actually have very limited options here. And I'm not liking how it looks right now. Especially that they might counter one of the spells. I could go Jace again, but it's super wasteful and I actually don't like this play one bit. This is kinda okay, but this is our counter spell. So 4 mana, we have 5 mana open only. So I could draw 3 cards. Oh man, I think we will die to this Jhin. I think we actually will die to this. We could also get 2 extra cards for double Smite. I think this is better. So like double get lost, because I think that 1 might not work. And we also have... Are you serious? No way, man, I'm actually not drawing anything. I have get lost in the deck. I have whales. I have Sunfalls. And I also have lands and lands. Man, I think we're actually dead. The last thing I can do is to go Deduce or go Jace and try to plus the Jhin, but then our full milling plan fully fizzles. I think we're actually fully dead. This, man, I cannot believe we actually lost like this. Such a great game, and I mean, if Shuffler wants you to lose, you know what to do. Man, even a single whale would do it. Man, there's like literally no risk for them. By the way, this was on top of the library, so if we had one extra card during the whole game, or it was one card higher, we would just double mill them and win the game right now. I don't know what to do, man. We need to bluff. This is the only way. I also hope for like double smite. Like even double smite kinda does it. So this will for sure be above 18. And that's a huge issue. I cannot believe we actually did not... I think we drew like 5... No, we drew more than 5 cards this turn, I think. And none of them were the cards we needed. Oh man. I need to kinda at least bluff, because they have one chance to close this game. And maybe there is a small chance they will go for the Jace. Oh man, I cannot believe this is how it ends. No! Oh my god, what can I freaking do? I know what I can do. I can check the top card, is that Get Lost? Or a Smite, that would both kill this. Well, no, there are more lands, somehow. Alright, that was a great game. I'm really sad that we didn't win this. I really think we should. We made a lot of good plays, but in the end we didn't draw the card that answers Jean. Alright guys, we're going first and I have a good feeling about this one. Let's start with Plains, shall we? And we have no more lives, which is super important. Having Silver Scrutiny is kinda amazing here. Are you actually serious? Ugh, the duress on turn 1. So what will they hit? Silver Scrutiny, Deduce or Normalize? All of those targets are super juicy. It also depends what the follow-up is, because they know that the follow-up will get countered by Normalize. So I think this is a pretty decent decision. However, that means we will start to get some value from the Deduce. Lockdown, unfortunately, probably will be a dead card. However, it can hurt some butts. Are you serious, bro? Oh my god, what an absolute maniac of discarding cards. Alright, so we kinda... we have hid, of course it will be Silver Scrutiny. We have hidden one of the cards, so we will have to make it work, man. Our opponent is just absolute mad lad, and we are not drawing perfectly right now. Man, our hand was so incredible before those two duresses. Right now we are kinda butchered and we need to scrap for value. So let's give our opponent this moment of pleasure of picking into our hand yet again, third time in this game. Bro, like play your own hand, you know? So what are we going to do? We will definitely draw with a clue and try to, you know, leverage some card advantage, because we definitely need it. I'm really hurt about Silver Scrutiny, because that was one of the big cards. This is extremely powerful draw. I kinda love it. And now we can start using Fountainport. Sorry bro, it's nothing to our friend, but man, this is distracting as hell. Alright, so this is the first time when we can start having some control over the game. No way they will attack. Okay, thank you. Alright guys, I honestly think we go like this. They might kill it. Probably they have like half of the hand removal, if not more. Possibly all of those cards are removal. So we will try to go through it, slowly but surely. And our opponent is wasting cards for nothing. This is a very nice draw. Alright, guys, I think we are kinda doing it so... Man, I love control so much. Like, this is such a fun gameplay. You know, it would be even more fun if I had my cards, but it's fine. It's fine. Man, every turn they are chilling. This is huge for us. Every turn, it's closer and closer to getting them to 0 cards. When they kinda whiff. Here we go. That's the second one. And basically we are trading 4 mana a turn to negate his full draw. So this is interesting, and we are of course drawing more cards every turn. We are developing mana very nicely. And Jace, oh man, Jace is amazing. It won't be super easy to use, it might die instantly, but it's still amazing. It's Jace. Alright. And as you can see, our opponent cannot really do much. Like, he's held hostage by our deck being stronger and better and more fun. I could make treasures, and honestly maybe that was the better play, but I'm kinda enjoying seeing our opponent using cards. But maybe treasures are better because they guarantee the card draw. And they also help with the mana, right? So this is interesting. We actually don't need to do anything. Tapping out can be a huge mistake. We could go lockdown, but it doesn't accomplish much. Yeah, I think this is not the time for Jace. They might have duress. They might, batter our hand a little bit more. Indirect discard doesn't, isn't a problem for us because we have dead cards like lockdown. So we can just discard them. Alright, I honestly think we'll start learning just a little bit. And let's go with those treasures. They will really help us, and we can always get cards from them. And as you can see, you actually don't need to do anything, because your deck is way better than your opponent's, and sooner or later it will be visible. Like right now they have no value, and we are stacking more and more every single turn. Yep, don't worry. Like, we are winning this game, but if we tap, we are actually throwing it. So we don't want to do it for sure. Very nice draw. Alright, this might be the start of Jacing this board. Definitely Demolition Field. And I think we still keep the Fountainport. And we need double blue. They will probably instantly attack Jace, that's my guess. Then we will have to use probably 3 steps ahead. Sure, let's go. We could just go super patiently and just keep drawing 2 cards a turn on average, but as you can see, they don't have enough answers. They only have 2 cards, so even if that's a removal, we just take it and that's fine. And that's how you go into top 88 in the world. Well then, if you watched all the games, we are in this together, because I'm literally sitting since like 40 minutes just drinking my tea and eating something and watching the games together with you. And I'll tell you, man, I really enjoyed them. I think this is like the best, coolest part in Magic. Like, playing those control decks is something I live for. And even though the deck is probably not the most fresh, like we've seen it, we actually made those versions pre-rotations. I mean, just remove Spellgyre and this, and you have like the Outlaws of Thunder Junction deck, basically. So the control is not getting too much stuff lately, contrary to Mono Red, so that's something, but it seems that Azorius control in this version is still absolutely performing, so you can basically go into the top of the world with this one. I've seen that it has consistent results because there are a lot of versions, some versions focus more on the Spellgyre, so they play 4 of those. Some of the versions go 4 not on my watch, so it's more about what you want to tailor your deck against. I personally kind of expected way more aggro, but I don't see too much aggro, and I actually needed to include some anti-control tools. That's why we also play Negate. I honestly love one Negate. One Negate changes completely how you play, because it feels like it's, what a difference, 3 mana counterspell, 2 mana counterspell, the same thing. No, because you need to keep this 1 extra mana for 5-6 turns, because you need to have something every single turn. So when you have Negate, you can actually save like 6 mana during the game, or sometimes 10 mana, depending on how long the game goes. And the second thing, the main turn of the whole game will be you playing Jace and hoping to fight against counter spells that your opponent has. So having 1 mana less for counter spell might mean you may pay another counter spell, especially with cards like Normalize, that in the final turn will actually be a hard counter spell for 2 mana. So this way you can squeeze like one extra play, and this is the difference between getting your game-winning Jace and getting it countered. So before we go further into the depths of control outro on this channel, I want to say huge thank you to all of you guys that are supporting Patreon. Really thank you for that, and it's allowing content like this to happen, so we can, you know, grind the ladder, we can, you know, see control at the top of the world, and I think that's really enjoyable. Honestly, this is the archetype that is maybe kind of boring for a lot of players because we've seen this one, but for me, whenever I play this is so fun. I still prefer Dimir, alright? But this is like the second in line. So I think Control is the most fun to play Magic, to be absolutely honest. But of course, it's not for everyone. But it's definitely for me, so I hope you are enjoying this one. So about this deck, I really have had games that sometimes we lack win cons with this deck, and that's something you really need to pay attention. You can go around it, but you need to be aware. If they caught you off guard with Deadly Cover-Up, suddenly you need to rely on those whales, so that can be a bit of a problem. So basically you have this Fountainport with fish. This is really bad way to close the game, but it still gets the job done, especially against decks like Mono Black. They trade card for card against everything, so at some point like they get super outvalued with this one. However, against control decks, this will be pretty weak, so you need to focus on Whale and Jace. Honestly, most of the time you really need to protect Jace, and if you are seeing a lot of control decks in your meta, I would up the Spellgyre to 4 and even normalize to 4. I've seen these versions, but I just realized that against mono-red aggro, if you expect a lot of it, it might be a bit rough. Like, this is 4 mana counter spell, so of course it's very slow. However, the upside of drawing cards makes up for it, so it's still good, but you don't want to overdo it. I really like the Deduce because it early game helps you fix your mana, and that's something I very often have troubles with. And you know, you can always get this second card on the end step, so it's very like practical. It's not a lot of value, but it's implemented in such a way that it's always like smoothing your early and mid game, and this is the part when control decks are, you know, the weakest basically. So if you can survive that part, it gets better. And the Well is pretty nice. It's very similar to Not on My Watch. Like, you basically get an exile effect, and the only difference is that the exile effect is on the top of their library. But with things like Demolition Field, you can actually sometimes completely remove it for basically no extra cost. So this is a very clutch play. You need to be aware of it, because sometimes it will win you the game if you get the lucky draw like this. If not, you just play normal game. So I think that's kind of it for today. I don't want to overdo it, even though I love control and I could be talking like 30 minutes about all the interactions, but I think you get the gist of it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Really thank you for being part of the channel. It is extremely appreciated. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow.